The hem sample we're going to do next is the lettuce edge hem. It's done on knit hems, where you can see how curly that is, looking like a curled leaf of a lettuce. Okay. Your knit sample has been pressed up to the wrong side 1/4 inch. You don't want to make it any wider than that. We'll be stitching on the right side. We need to change our stitch setup to the number 2 zigzag. And we're going to change our stitch length to about 0.5, and you can adjust this as you test it out on your fabric. And then our stitch width will be a 2. Once again, you could go wider if you wanted to. We will not back stitch. I don't even start stitching at the raw edge. I'll come in 1/4 inch before I start stitching. Notice where I'm putting my fabric, to the inside corner of the right toe. You want the needle to come off and then on. We're going to do a couple of stitches to get started. Okay, notice I had to move my fabric away from that corner, okay, because the needle was not coming off. Once you get started and have a few stitches, then you're going to start stretching this fabric as much as it can go, and that will create the lettuce edge. Now, because we don't have much fabric behind to grab onto, I'm just pulling on these threads. Okay, we'll start stitching, and I'm pulling. The more you stretch the fabric, the more it's going to stay in that curled lettuce edge. Okay, now I've got some fabric behind, so that makes it a little easier to stitch over. Stop and grab a new piece in front and stretch it. Now I'm going to change the stitch width a little wider so we can see the difference. We'll go up to 4. And that's just going to show more stitch on the fabric. Takes a while because you've stretched the fabric and made it a longer length. Just go until you can't hold on to the fabric anymore, and then raise your presser foot, cut your thread tails. Definitely some knit fabrics have more stretch than others. This one had good stretch, so you can really see the curled hem edge, and it makes a fun edge for necklines, for sleeve hems, or a bottom hem.